My name is Denise Williams, an approved financial coach. And I ask if you can imagine that you have a team ready to support you and help you make the very best decisions so that you are a winner. Would that make a difference? Do you think that you could see how the next 5 to 10 years just got easier because you have the right plan of action with your team? Well, that's what we do here at Financially Focused. And we have an awesome lineup of experts who will speak to you about your personal plan of action. From real estate to credit access to career development and becoming an entrepreneur. Financially Focused will support the life goals of partnership and marriage, self-care, children, home ownership, your occupation, and goal setting, which are critical to you. We know the ages of 25 to 65 are no joke, and a great plan is your key to wealth. Bottom line, a strong financial table with an active financial focus allows you to build your dreams in the shortest time with ease and joy. Now picture yourself seated at this elegant table with one leg symbolizing the steady flow of income from passive sources, entrepreneurship, and your career. Now imagine the strength to your financial table that comes from adding another leg, one dedicated to strategic investments. When you engage with our financially focused support system, you'll discover effective strategies to fortify the legs on your table. And the third leg is protection from savings, insurance, and achieving debt freedom. As we build on these pillars, I want you to imagine the fourth leg, which is your mindset. This will help you have a stable structure for your financial goals. Denise Williams here. We have a powerful panel of experts who will share guidance with us on planning to build specific areas in your life. So in this financially focused family, we're all about giving you support. So to my far left is business consultant and coach, Michael Collins. Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
All right. And we have someone who's going to fix all your career problems, yes? Dr. Carolyn Hayle, labor market researcher.
Yes, ma'am.
And
Thank
then
you.
we have someone who's going to solve all your real estate problems, Vinton Thomas, realtor and life coach. Welcome.
Thank you.
All right. So I'm going to just throw some questions specific because what we want is an intentional financial focus so we can grow. So we want to give persons some ideas. So Doc, 3 things we should know about building a career so that we can be intentional.
Well, the first thing you have to do then is to review where you are, your mindset. That's a critical element. If you don't get that right and understand how to maneuver in terms of where you are in education, on the educational ladder,
Yes.
understand how you can move from where you are to the next step, set your goals, and also to be very clear on how did you arrive here. Are you satisfied with the core values that you have now? What are you not prepared to compromise on? And then once you have established all of that, you then can sit down and make a plan as to where I would like to be in the next 20, 30 years. It's not a short-term plan. It's executed in short-term bites, but you have to have a long-term plan.
All right. Mr. Collins, now there's a thought that we take the 9-to-5 money to fund the 5-to-9 business, and eventually we get big and leave the 9-to-5 and our business becomes our main source of income. But as a business consultant, how do we become intentional about entrepreneurship?
Intentional about becoming an entrepreneur is something that somebody needs to really think about. And as the good doc mentioned earlier, it starts with the mindset. You have to understand what your goals are. You have to understand what the end results will be like for you. And as such, there are some steps that you need to do in order to get there. So, in order to become a successful entrepreneur, whether you have a 9-to-5 attached to that, or if it is that you want to do, as you mentioned it, a 5-to-9, which is to have both running, somewhat concurrently, then you have to shift the mindset. Bearing in mind that we have only 24 hours in a day. You have to manage that plan. You have to understand how your time is to be shifted between, if you have a 9-to-5, how that is going to work for your employer. And then after you've completed that, how now you're going to satisfy your clients afterwards in your own business. Being an entrepreneur is something that, successful entrepreneurs find really exciting. It is something that really gives you inner peace. The fact that you can actually satisfy people by doing what you do best. And so, it is managing your time, but you need a plan.
Yes.
The first thing you need to do after you've set your mindset, shifted your mindset, is to have a plan. Know what your plan is. And then understand what sort of financing you need to get you there. There are other things that we'll talk about as we go through the interview.
Okay, well, all right. Now, Mr. Vinton, I wanted you to give us some guidance, because we go from our 9-to-5, because this is generally the way we do it. We do our 9-to-5, we become entrepreneurial because we want to chart our own path. But now that we have some cash in hand, we tend to now want something solid, and then real estate comes on the table. So how are we being intentional? Because for many people, they buy a house, that's it, Another pathway is to say, okay, I'm going to buy property, and then I'm going to scale up and become a real estate investor. So let me understand, how do you get that mindset of planning for real estate?
Okay. As my people say here, mindset is play the most significant role in whatever you're doing, and real estate is no different.
Okay.
Now, your intention of real estate might be different from customer to customer. One person might intend that I'm satisfied with a house. So I get a house, I'm good. Right? Another person might say, I'm really need to invest in real estate in order to earn money for its future incomes. So when doing that now, you said, have you set your mindset that you're going to achieve more buying just one house? Maybe just a start. There are certain things you need to focus on. You focus on location. Where is it located? Is it in a place where actually you can get good rental income? Is it a place where the resale value is more? Or do I look to create a niche in the market where I look for properties that are being run down or being sold under as persons who are no longer interested in it, or persons who are like divorcee and stuff like that? And how do I actually spin that in order to make some more money? Or if you have your house with another person, don't really understand that. You might own a house already and decide you're stuck with that. But you might have equity in the house that you can use to borrow to actually get another house. So there are several other factors you can look into. And as a realtor, what we do, we encourage people, just buy just recreation, and just keep for yourself. Like, think about the long-term effect. What is it that I want to do in the future, next 5-10 years from now?
All right. So I want to spin back to you, Michael, looking at this journey that we're on. You're going from 9-to-5, you're becoming an entrepreneur, you may be investing in something tangible like real estate, but underpinning that is actually credit worthiness. So I know you've had some banking experience, Michael. I don't know if you want to chime in on what persons can do in terms of having the plan to improve their credit worthiness.
Absolutely. So you need to know what's on your records.
Yes.
So your credit scores are important. Go get it. They're going to be asked of you from the bank or the financial institution from which you intend to borrow. Then we ask you to then put your plans together in terms of what you can afford in terms of whether you're going to be borrowing some money, or if it is that you're going to be using your own money, or a combination of both. So the credit worthiness is important, because then that tells you if it is that you need to borrow to then start your business, or to enhance your business if you already have it, and especially if you're going into the real estate business, as Vinton mentioned, because sometimes some people consider rental income as a business. Mm-hmm. And the Airbnb, as you know, is a big deal in Jamaica and, well, worldwide now.
Yes, yes.
So you have to make sure that credit is important and that you can have access to that. But you have to set up yourself first by planning towards that, knowing what's on your record. And if there's anything that needs to be fixed on your record, you fix it before you venture out. So that's my take on that, the credit worthiness.
Right. Now, Doc, I wanted to ask you, again, we're looking at this plan of action of our life. We have the 9 to 5, we go into entrepreneurship, we may invest in tangible items. The credit worthiness underpinning our actions, because access to credit means we can borrow, we can expand. However, Doc, I think saying all that, a lot of persons don't look at entrepreneurship as a brand new way of thinking. Mm-hmm. They leave the job and take the same behavior on the job in entrepreneurship. So if we're talking about being intentional, having a plan, how do we shift and have that mindset from 9 to 5 to entrepreneurship?
Well, I was waiting for you to get around to me, because
you're waiting on me. All right.
Yeah, I'm waiting on you. Because entrepreneurship is not for everybody. That's the first thing. Yeah. So you have to understand, as we said earlier, mindset. Where do I sit? How do I relate to risk? Because if you're an entrepreneur, we have to be accepting of risk and understanding how much risk you're willing to take. Also, it depends on your age. If you're beyond 50, you have to be careful in terms of how much risk you're going to take. But if you have a good employer and an employer with an open mind, then you can look at intrapreneurship, where you can exercise those entrepreneurial qualities that you think you may have in a safe environment within a bigger company, but work out with the company your ability to earn shares or royalty from whatever new product you create.
Okay.
So it's many different things, but you need to know who you are before you decide to venture down the road of entrepreneurship. Because usually people go there because they've been fired or they don't like somebody on the job or whatever, and then they end up in a bad place with bad credit.
That's correct.
So it really is mindset.
So the beginning of being intentional and having a plan is understanding who
yourself.
You are.
Yes.
And then we go from the 9 to 5. Is it, so this is some of the planning questions we could ask, should we seek to get more from the 9 to 5, as you said, with stocks and shares, being an intrapreneur, which we add value, in the company, and we grow from there? Or we reach out to a consultant like Michael to become an entrepreneur, or we reach out to a life coach and realtor like Vinton to build our real estate plan. Now, here's another question for you, and anyone can take this question. What is the value of writing down this plan as opposed to having it in your mind, because you know what you want?
I could take that.
I could take it.
I'm sure we'll all come to the same conclusion that writing down the plan has to be about what you really want to do. It needs to be there. It's a point of reference when you start your business, before you start your business, when you start your business, and in operating your business. So you can always reference it to see exactly what you've set out to do. Now, your plan is not only for you, it's also for other external persons. Supposing you're, as mentioned before, seeking financing. You'd like to take your plan so that the financier, the bank or the credit union or the grant that you'll be wanting to get, can actually look to see what your goals are, your aims, who are the people you're going to be selling to, what are the products and services you're going to be offering, what sort of income do you really need to get this done. So the business plan is critical. And guess what? People hear this business plan and think it's this big document that you really need. It's what you make it. But there are some guidelines as to what it really should look like. And I'm sure my panelists, my fellow panelists, will expound on that some more.
I could explain on that a bit, right? People don't understand the impact it has on you. When you see and you think about things, it's different from when you write things. We all been explaining about mindset. And it's a different mindset when you have it in your head and when you write it down.
Right.
When you write things down, as a matter of fact, most motivational speaker would tell you, have a book or a pen beside your bed at night, right? Because there are times when if you think about something, write it down.
Right.
Also, when you write things down, you try to remember it, right? So it changes your mindset altogether, right? And the other advantage, as Michael has said, it actually helps you to promote yourself, promote your business, promote your ideas, and it gives the people an understanding of what you're actually thinking, because it's actually in front of them and they can actually put it to that direction. So if you carry your plan, writing plan, to a professional, they'll be able to better guide you towards your destination.
Dr. Hayle?
Yeah, there are two bits that I want to look at. I want you to realize that writing it down is a commitment to yourself. And once you see it, you say, oh yeah, I said I was going to do that. I'm kind of going off track, because it kind of keeps you on track. But also, you must remember that the plan, what you start out with, may not be where you end up, you know. When you look back, many times, because another thing I want to segue to is the business plan. And Michael has spoken about the business plan. Your business plan, as I taught us in business school, is a living, breathing document. You do not have a bound document for your business plan. It is in a loose leaf binder because it's what you use every day to run the business. It changes constantly. And so, if you are really running an efficient and goal-centered business, when you look back 3 months from now, you say, but wait a minute, oh, I shifted. Why did I shift? You need to analyze, why did I make that shift at that point in time, because it's telling you something else. So it's very important to write it down, because a reference point, as Michael said, and it keeps you focused.
Can't keep it in your head, Denise.
You can't.
And I can add something else, right? We mentioned about business plan, etc., blah, blah, and you start entrepreneurship. And I asked a question earlier and asked about some famous places, right? And not to do an advertisement or stuff, but I asked a question like, what does KFC sell? What does McDonald's sell? What does Burger King sell? And we would say, what they sell?
Food.
What does Burger King sell?
Food.
Burgers,
And
fries.
KFC sell chicken, right?
Yeah, okay.
And I tell persons, that is true, but you can fry chicken, can't you?
I can.
You can do a burger.
Yeah.
So what these people sell are not just chicken.
Not
Yeah.
products and
They
services.
sell consistency.
Quality assurance.
I like that.
Consistency.
Yeah.
So
Added
in
value.
order for them to
That's
have
correct.
consistency, they have to document what they do.
Absolutely.
You go to the burger and you say they put the chicken in the oven and they say, oh, chicken, 37 minutes. Bing. You go to another place, they say, oh, pizza. How much pizza? 10 minutes. Bling.
Consistency.
Yes.
Because they have
Quality
been
assurance.
documented as to what to do.
Yes.
Right? So the consistency is what sell.
Absolutely.
Right? These persons sell. So
Okay.
if you're doing something and you document it, it actually promote consistency.
All right. Well, I mean, what a awesome way to end this panel discussion. We have had 3 powerful panelists, and consistency is the key word we want you to leave with. My name is Denise Williams, and as you are planning your life, as you are going step by step, be intentional with your 9 to 5, your career, entrepreneurship, investing, and be consistent. Write down what you want, refer to the document. It's a living document. It changes as you change, but it allows you to achieve more with less stress. I'm Denise Williams. I'll see you in a minute. Now, One of the easiest ways to handle potential life events is to create multiple versions of your financial independence plan to see how these impact your financial independence date. For example, let's see how much sooner you would reach financial independence if you switched to a higher paying job. To do this, you would create 2 financial independent plans and see how applying the extra income would affect your financial independence date. Now, here are some of the most common life events that people face. Should I buy a house or continue to rent? Should I buy a car? How will that impact my future? Should I contribute to my retirement account or pay off debt? What should I do with a large sum of cash, whether a bonus or an inheritance? And how would having kids impact my financial independence date? If you would like to know the answers to some of these life events, don't worry. Reach out for our support at financiallyfocussedtv@gmail.com. And of course, feel free to reach out to the experts you see featured in our programs. As a financial coach, I love giving my clients tools that help them get a high return on the investment in coaching. Follow the links below and be sure to access our free gifts. The first one is 30 days free access to financial planning software and a free financial planning workbook. My name is Denise Williams, your financial coach, and I look forward to supporting you on the journey to more income, more assets, less debt, and less stress.